Scandinavia, in the very north of Europe, a mysterious land of ice and snow, where daylight's the sport of rallying as we know it was born. Previously run on open roads, the Scandinavians have used special stages run on closed roads in the 1950s. No wonder then that this is considered the spiritual home of the sport. Each year, the World Rally Championship pays 2 visits to the area. Rally Finland in late summer, and the first for the only true winter event in the series, the Swedish Rally. Traditionally the second round of the World Championship, the rally is based around the city of Karlstad, around 300 kilometres from Stockholm. Suppose Tommy Hampton arrived in Sweden as championship leader, following his controversial win in the opening round. Citroen's young French star Sebastian Loeb, driver Dan Lennon, the last couple of stages, also were able to spray the champagne as the leader goes. However, on the final day, Citroen withdrew that finished, backing him to finally win his 4th Monte Carlo rally in a row, his 24th World Rally victory in total. History will change. From the Canadian plains to tarmac-coated roads, from snow to gravel, Mackinnon to one on the floor.
It's good feeling that still I don't think it's so important for me. It's most important to having good feeling in the team and good success with ourselves. All of us, we are doing our work at the moment. Maybe afterwards, after a few years, it's very nice memories, but at the moment it's not.
Do you think you can get that 25th victory here in Sweden?
We have done a lot of test kilometers. I have done 6 days, which is most what I ever done for this rally, and car feels good.
From the 1970s and the likes of Stig Blomqvist and Little Saabs to last year's win from Peugeot, this event has never been won by a non-Scandinavian. No fewer than 7 former winners start the Swedish rally this year.
We were born on snow, so it's a natural type of driving. Whatever, if you drive a tractor or car or whatever, you are playing on snow, and it's very familiar to you.
There are some drivers here, like Colin, who have done more Swedish rally than me. And but of course I'm quite a bit more used to drive on these conditions, which can help sometimes if it start to be really difficult conditions and so on.
Carlos, Colin, Richard are always fast here also. It's only a time, the question of time when they can win here.
Colin McRae set a string of faster stage times here last year, but a lengthy visit to a snowbank cost any chance of victory.
Judging on last year's speed, then yeah, we have a very good chance. Again, it's a new year, it's different conditions again. The big thing this year is going to be whether the snow is going to thaw or the ice is going to thaw or stay on the ground, so it's going to be a bit down to tyres.
McRae's teammate Carlos Sainz has finished second here 3 times, so he also has to break the Scandinavian stranglehold. The 14, however, would start with only 2 cars, and Marco Martin was the suspension on the shakedown stage, before the start. Like Colin McRae, the world champion Richard Burns, now Peugeot, saw any chance of victory last year in a Subaru, ending with a trip into a snowbank. The event is still one of his favourites.
It's so much fun to drive here that you just let yourself go, you know, and relax, and that's the best way to get good times.
Sebastian Loeb has little knowledge of the event, but will be able to show his more experienced teammate Thomas Nordstrom. He's as quick on snow as he was in Monte Carlo. Skoda easily has the most experienced team, including 3 times winner Kevin Eriksson and Stig Blomqvist, who's won his home rally an incredible 7 times. The bravery prize must go to Hyundai's Freddie Loix, who's hobbling around on crutches after breaking his foot in an accident in Monte Carlo. Mitsubishi, meanwhile, have a not-so-secret record. Finland's young person making his debut in his own World Rally car. This year's Swedish Rally has nearly 400 kilometres of stages spread out over the 3 days. Day 1 saw the first 5 of those stages, first to the east, then north, and then east again of the single service area in the town of Hagfors. The morning began cold and clear. Forecast snow showers weren't far away. Temperatures hovered around freezing, mild for this event, but still cold enough to leave even the locals needing extra clothing. The opening stage was a little over 14 kilometres long, and thanks to Virtual Spectator, we can take a closer look at the Sagan stage. It's a fast, flowing road which runs alongside a frozen lake at one point, before a series of long straights, punctuated with hairpin bends, leads up to the stage finish. Even on the snow and ice, the crews would expect to average around 110 kilometres an hour. A Finn would be the first to tackle Sagan, championship leader Tommi Mäkinen. Covering of loose snow lay over the road surface, which meant the Subaru would be clearing a path for the others. Once again partnered by stand-in co-driver Kai Lindström, Mäkinen had chosen an ice-packed tyre for the first pair of stages, and the choice looked to have been a poor one. A more open pattern might have worked better on the fresh snow, and the frustrated Finn could only manage to set the 17th fastest time. Runs on Michelin tyres, yet the pair set exactly the same time to the 10th of a second on stage 1. Loeb was possibly also handicapped by his road position, since Thomas Ronström in an identical car was second fastest. Third to leave the start line were Carlos Sainz and his co-driver Lewis Moyer in a Ford Focus.
Rasante derecha rápida, menos se cierra poco. Sassar, para izquierda rápido José esta de cierra y se abre, abrirse. Izquierda rápida, menos se cierra poco, a fondo, para uno.
The Spanish pair set the 7th fastest time through the stage, just 0.2 of a second slower than their teammates, Ron McRae and Nicky Christ.
Right tightens to 4 class. And 6 left, and 6 right, 30, 6 crest, 120.
Both the factory Ford drivers, however, were beaten by the privately run Focus of Yannick Torino, its fifth quickest. Telling the Finn was on Michelin tyres, the works cars were on Pirellis. The French rubber seemed to work better in the snow, as Marcus Grönholm demonstrated.
Täys 150. Vaseneri helppo ja hae vaseneri jouhee. 8 ja oikee pitkä eri tarkkana, kirraa vähän. 100. Ja oikea laita 5 vaseri miinus sumppu.
The winner of the Swedish rally 2 years ago set the quickest time, and so took an early lead. Solberg finished 6th in Monte Carlo despite setting some impressive stage times. The young Norwegian must have hoped his luck had changed, but he quickly discovered a problem with his brakes and wasted no time telling his co-driver Mills.
Opens 80.
The brakes are completely wrong.
6 right plus of a crest, 80. Line into early 3, right plus keep in 20, 2 left minus tightens.
Solberg didn't yet know it, but he bent a switch which controlled the braking, and so his front wheels were locking going into corners, hardly confidence-inspiring when you're driving on sheet ice covered with a sprinkling of fresh snow.
I have a problem with the front brakes. It's locking completely, so when I'm going into corner, the car just goes straight. So I lost a lot of time, I will tell you.
Solberg's former teammates Richard Burns and Robert Reed had no such worries. They were 4th fastest on stage 1.
70. Straight left, 20. Flat right, 20. Flat left, braking and left mags.
French cars in fact occupied all of the first 100 races, and Grönholm demonstrating his best left-foot braking technique on his way to the third.
Vähän vasen helppo alas 5. 400 oli matkoja. Hain nypyyli oikein helppo kääntyy. 102. Huomio, oikein niin suppu.
Another driver who brakes with his left foot is Freddie Loix. Not easy when that left foot is broken and you've got to use crutches to walk around. 24 fastest, Loix's problem was clear as he changed his tyres on the road section after the stage. This This then was the first leaderboard of the 2002 Swedish Rally. Marcus Grönholm, Thomas Rodström, Javi Rovanperä and Richard Burns making it a stage to remember for Peugeot and Citroën. Jani Tuino led the 3 Ford Focuses which followed them, with another privateer in 11th place, Tomasz Kuchar from Poland in a Toyota Corolla. Stage 2, a 23-kilometre affair at Rammen, saw more fresh snow falling, although the spectators had their own ways of keeping warm. Jani Tuino was again the fastest Ford driver, with Colin McRae 7th fastest, making slight adjustments to his pace notes as he went along.
500. Faster. Okay.
McRae was almost caught out at one point, his recovery drawing praise for the wrist.
Well done.
On stage 2, telephone engineers. Subaru was 5th fastest and back up to 10th overall.
Black crest, 120. Keep left over crest, 100. Slippy brake in slow crest into slippy 1 right plus, tightens minus.
Still, Solberg would need to reach service as his mechanics sorted it out once and for all. Peugeot would set the fastest time, but Marcus Grönholm, his 206 causing rear bodywork damage. Grönholm was second quickest, but still led the rally.
8, aserin helppo. 7 aserin ehkä jouheen 8. Ja nyppy 7 oikein pirun pitkä eri yli nypyn tarkkana.
Peugeot's in fact set all of the top 3 times on stage 2. Richard Burns seemed to be coming to terms with his new car. He was both 3rd fastest and 3rd on the leaderboard.
Flat left and flat left, 100, medium left plus long and tightens long, left over crest 20, easy left long, 60, slow medium right to slow medium right.
Further down the order, Kenneth Eriksson and co-driver Tina Turner, 10th fastest, headed the Skoda challenge in 11th place, ahead of both Tony Gardemeister and Stig Blomqvist.
1, go. Flat right, flat left on crest, 30.
Alistair McRae was less than 3 seconds slower than Big Brother Colin on the stage, but his Mitsubishi's rear bumper suggested a close encounter. The team's newcomer, Jani Parsonen, bore similar damage, but he was now up to 5th overall after just 2 stages in his new car. 12 months ago, this event saw Harry Rovanperä's first for Peugeot. He went on to win the rally and so easily enjoyed the conditions. He was fastest on stage 2, with a second place Mark Grönholm. Freddie Loix's struggle with his broken foot was continuing. He was fastest, but the UK moved up to 19th place. Belgium faced another backward feeling in his foot.
Lange, Triumph, lange top 75, rechts 162, die gaat niet afkomen. Lange
Second fastest on the previous stage, Thomas Rodström is determined to show Citroën was much more than fast and low. Pressure too hard on stage 2.
Then medium right plus tightens, to crest, 50 cushion crest and 10 back left. Thomas, come on, we are on the road, we are back, engine.
Richard, top 4 on the first 2 stages of the rally, a great start.
Yeah, really good, really good. Not quite as fast as Harry and Marcus, but I think they got a little bit more experience in both the rally and the car. So to be just within sort of 12 seconds of them both is good enough at the moment.
Marcus leading the rally after 2 stages, a great start for you.
Yeah, not so bad. It's good. The second stage was not so fantastic. It was quite a lot of snow, and the first cars, it's not so nice for them. So I was also sliding everywhere, so it was not so good time.
We hit the snowbank too hard with the left rear, and then the car turned around straight away between the snowbanks. And luckily we doesn't hit anything serious, something hard in the ditch.
Yanni, 5th after 2 stages. What a terrific start in the new team and new car.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at this place, but it's okay. But I drive carefully and I'm learning to car and I'm learning to team working and everything.
Tommy, 32.8 seconds you lost over those 2 stages. Why?
It started snowing a lot and it's full cover of snow. I think at least 1.5 inch came fresh snow, very wet snow, and we couldn't get the tire goes through the snow easily onto the ice and so.
Stage 3 at over 40 kilometres was the longest of the entire rally, giving the fans plenty of time to amuse themselves. Running second on the road meant Sebastian Loeb was helping Tommy Mäkinen to sweep away the loose snow. The Citroën went into stage 3 in 23rd place, but would come out of it having lost around 3 minutes. McRae, on the other hand, was one of a number of drivers to benefit from events on the stage. Despite only setting the 7th fastest time, stage 3 saw McRae beat 2 in by nearly 13 seconds. So it was now Scott who led the forward attack.
Left takes the favour of the crowd. 30, dip and bump, 3 left first.
Marcus Gronholm again set the 2nd fastest time behind his Peugeot colleague Harry Rovanperä, but by now the rally lead had changed hands. A lot else had changed too, with just 25 seconds covering 3rd to 10th places. Any mistakes would be swiftly and cruelly punished, as Richard Burns discovered.
60. Flat right to right, Max.
Around a minute and a half were lost in the stage, dropping Burns from 3rd to 18th.
Flat right to right, Max. 70, right, Max.
Easy right on crest, opens.
More fortunate were Alistair McRae and David Senior, even if the pair did lose yet another rear bumper.
Flat left over small crest, braking straight 100, care easy left minus, tightens in at the end here. 70. Flat right, tightens slight, 50.
For the 2nd stage in a row, Harry Rovanperä set the fastest time, full 12.6 seconds faster than Brombo. So it was now Rovanperä who led. But the performance which stunned many observers came from Freddie Loitz. He might have had a broken foot and hadn't done much testing as a result, but he and Sven Smits were 3rd fastest on the stage and leapt from 19th place to 5th. Out of sight of our cameras, Thomas Rodstrom repeated his mistake from stage 2, but this time wasn't so lucky. As the view from Juha Kankkinen's car shows, the Citroën was well off the road this time, and despite the efforts of a crowd of marshals and spectators, Rodstrom and co-driver Denis Giraudet lost over 7.5 minutes stuck in the snow. When they eventually broke free, Giraudet had to run to catch up. He'd been warning other crews to slow down. Rodstrom didn't fancy another car catching him on the outside of the bend and pushing him back into the snow. With so many of the championship regulars having trouble, there were some unfamiliar names on the leaderboard. Marcus Gronholm's cousin Sebastian Lindholm, a privately run Peugeot, was 8th fastest and was now in 6th place overall, although the damage to the rear of the car seemed strangely familiar. Yet another Finn, Jannik Paasonen, was continuing his stunning debut for Mitsubishi. 10th quickest was enough to lift the newcomer into 3rd place. He and co-driver Arto Päkkinen had promised a steady run before the rally started, so perhaps even they were surprised by their speed. So, after just 3 stages, the top 3 was an all-finish affair, with a Scotsman and an injured Belgian in hot pursuit.
Harry, you're now leading with 10 seconds on the board. You obviously found some speed on the last stage.
Of course, we need ride today and pushing because tomorrow is new day and we don't know what is the weather and everything's and.
Richard, damage on the car. You've lost quite a lot of time. What happened?
I went off on a very fast piece and went into the snow on the outside of the corner, and unfortunately it blocked all the air intake and the radiator and everything. So within a few kilometres the engine was starting to overheat. We stopped. Robert got out and scooped all the snow out, and then we carried on.
Freddie, for a man with a broken foot, 5th overall after 3 stages is a great result so far.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the result at the moment. The car is working perfect. We took the car from Juha and Armin, set up. We only did the shakedown, and I have to say that I feel very good in the car. I have no pain. It's also very important, so until now things are going very well.
Essentially driving's quite easy because moving his foot up and down isn't painful. Twisting it from side to side is, which is why you see Freddie getting out of the car with the crutches, because we don't want him to twist on his foot and put any weight on it.
The day's final pair of stages were again to the east of Hagfors, but you'd have been forgiven for thinking the rally was in Finland, not Sweden. First into those stages, as there had been all day, were Tommy Mäkinen and Kai Lindström. Hadn't been the best of days for the pair. Their road position plus their poor tyre choice had left the pair in 19th place going into stage 4.
Ja lyhyt oikein.
That brush with a snowbank seemed innocent enough, but the Impreza's radiator was blocked by the snow and the car was soon limping along, hazard lights flashing. The rally's first major retirement was surely now a formality.
The engine temperature is up. There's a junction. We stop at the junction 13 on the stage number 4. We must stop here.
Sure enough, a sky-high engine temperature meant the 3-time winner of the Swedish rally was out. Even a last-ditch attempt at using water from his drinks bottle was doomed to failure.
I don't know, the engine just overheated. I think there was when we stopped the car, there was a little bit snow on the nose. Maybe it blocked the air going into the radiator, but it wasn't completely blocked. I don't understand why it is overheated.
Another Finn, Marcus Grönholm fared much better. Second fastest for the 3rd stage in a row, Grönholm was still in 2nd place, but now lay just 3 seconds behind the leader. He was only 6th quickest. Mäkinen wasn't the only victim of stage 4, however. Armin Fox was lucky to escape an excursion into yet another snowbank, but both his lights and nearly 5 minutes were lost. Fastest on stage 4 was Foxman, but the system was still over 8 minutes down on Rovanperä and Grönholm. Stage 5, the last of the day, saw the rally move from day into night. Finally, Pirelli and a non-Finn struck back. Colin McRae set the fastest time and so consolidated the 3rd place and snatched from Pascal. Mr. Consistent, Marcus Grönholm was 2nd fastest yet again, but it was enough for the lead to change hands. Rovanperä dropping to 2nd place in the gathering darkness. There was another snowbank lying in wait for another victim, this time the Mitsubishi Lancer of François Delacour and Daniel Grattelin. Like Schwartz on stage 4, the French pair would struggle on, however. So at the end of day 1, Marcus Grönholm leads the Swedish rally by just 9/10 of a second. The 2 Peugeots are over 40 seconds clear of the only other man to win a stage today, Colin McRae. Juha Kankkunen heads the pack chasing a point-scoring position, with 7th to 12th covered by only 23 seconds. Day 2 promises yet more excitement.
Colin, a win on the final stage of the day, your 3rd overall now, a very solid start to this rally.
Yeah, it was a good start. We had no real problems. Just unfortunate the gap between ourselves and the Peugeots is 40 seconds.
But you're surprised how small the margin is, just 0.9 of a second.
That is very nice. It's 1 second, but a little bit surprised is how far is the 3rd car and other teams.
Why have you been trading places? You started leading the rally this morning and then you're leading at the end of the day. What happened in the middle there?
On the long stage, I think our position on the road was not really good. So Harry was quite a lot behind. It was cleaning.
But will it be the two Finnish Peugeot drivers who will still dominate at the end of day 2? And who else will join Tommi Mäkinen on an early flight home? Join us again tomorrow, but from Sweden. Good night. Scandinavia, the spiritual home of rallying and the perfect setting for some of the most spectacular driving in the world.
Flat left, tight to minus, 50 right time.
Round 2 of the World Rally Championship is the Swedish Rally. Held on the snow and ice-covered gravel roads of central Sweden, some 300 kilometres west of the country's capital, Stockholm, the event is based in the city of Karlstad. 16 stages host the action, all to the north of the host city, with a single service area for the 3 days in the town of Hagfors. Day 1's 5 stages saw plenty of the thrills and spills for which the event is famous.
Gauche à fond long.
And Thomas Rodstrom all lost time in their off-road adventures, but 4-time world champion Tommi Mäkinen fell victim to the most innocent-looking of incidents. Blink twice, and you'd have missed it.
Ja lyhyt oikein.
A radiator full of snow and damage the victim.
We stop at the junction 13 on the stage number 4. We must stop here.
It was not completely, the nose wasn't completely blocked, but maybe it's got some too much snow and afterwards overheated and water came out from the engine. Now it seems to be all right, but we're just running out the water. We have to find some more.
Winner in Sweden 2 years ago, Marcus Gronholm led at the end of the first day. His teammate Harry Rovanperä was second after going fastest on 2 of the 5 stages. The duo took it in turns to lead the rally on day 1, leaving the only non-Finn to win a stage, Colin McRae in a Ford Focus, to lead the pursuit of the Peugeot pair on day 2. Just 9/10ths of a second split the two Finns at the end of day 1, with McRae over 40 seconds down. However, the gap from 4th placed Jani Parsonen to Kenneth Eriksson in 12th position was less than 40 seconds, so there would be plenty to fight for on the rally's longest day.
Colin, the temperature's gone up overnight. It's going to make things quite difficult this morning.
Well, nobody knows because we've never rallied in this condition with these tyres. There's about 4 inches of ice, but it's very soft and it will break through to the gravel. And it's just a question of how much gravel is underneath and how hard it is.
What tyre choice are you going for in that first stage?
That is not so really easy because if it's a lot of soft snow, I prefer snow tyres, but we don't know really.
What do you feel about running 15th on the road now?
Okay, we are in the same conditions as Harry, so it's not so big change. I don't know how the roads are now, but it can be quite difficult.
6 stages made up day 2 to the north, east and then west of Hagfors. A long stage would start the day with 2 shorter ones in the early afternoon and then 3 more shorter still to take the cruise from day into night, nearly 130 kilometres in all. With teams forced to nominate just 2 types of tyre, the decision which one to use, always an issue, was now almost impossible thanks to the conditions. Time to call in an expert.
Temperature's risen quite a bit last night and it's given us a very wet, soft condition this morning. We've still got the thick ice underneath, but there's quite a lot of soft, slushy snow on the top. It's a bit of an unknown condition. We've never tested in a situation like this. Our testing's usually always been at much colder conditions with snow and ice. The 2 tyres we have, this is mainly an ice type tyre, which has got the studs to give us the traction and the braking in this direction, and then it's got the radial block to give us more lateral grip and more stud stability. But the feeling is that maybe we're better on the other option, which gives us better straight line traction and braking on the very soft slushy type snow that we have this morning.
Stage 6, the first of the day, was a rerun of Stage 3, the rally's longest, at over 40 kilometres. With the benefit of virtual spectator, we can take a look at the big picture, at the road snaking through the forest, before zooming in to concentrate on the tricky last few hundred metres. A long open hairpin left, before a hairpin right, and a fairly gentle left-right-left through the flying finish. This year, the top 15 A-seeded drivers run in reverse order on days 2 and 3, so the Skoda of Stig Blomqvist was among the first to tackle the stage. Just as Mackinnon and Loeb had suffered from swinging away loose snow on day 1, 2 minutes ahead of the Skoda, both lost time. But Blomqvist in front of the 6-1 road, Mitsubishi was 9th fastest.
Right times to easy plus, into easy left plus, opens long over crest. Slow easy right over jump, opens. 150, flat over small crest. 70 flat crest and flat left to crest, and right times to easy plus.
Carlos Sainz was 8th quickest, over 2 seconds faster.
Izquierda rasante en izquierda rápida, ojos de cierra. Rasante en izquierda rápida, ojos de cierra. 2. Rasante en derecha, salta poco para 1. Izquierda rápida se cierra en rasante para 1 largo. Derecha rápida, ojo, pues poco posible esta se cierra. Para izquierda rápida, ojos se cierra.
Peter Solberg now held the hopes of the Subaru team in his hands. Stage 6 began well enough for the Norwegian, but our onboard camera catches the moment when Solberg realises all isn't well.
100, 6 right of a crest, 120.
Engine.
Flat crest, 200. Is there anything you can do just to back it off? Or?
Just jump out and look fast.
Negative on the snowbank.
Co-driver Phil Mills hops out to check there's no snow in the radiator, the cause of their teammates' retirement on day 1. This time, though, there's no obvious reason for the engine sickness.
See if we can get to a junction better.
Engine failure number 2 for Subaru.
Petter, we really thought today that he was going to be making a big push. He was confident and feeling good. Petter felt that yesterday that he was feeling that kind of confidence himself. So who knows what might have happened.
Solberg had been less than 10 seconds behind Mitsubishi Arsenal, but he spun in the stage out of sight of our cameras, dropping behind both Freddie Loix and Carlos Sainz, while the man in 3rd place was on something of a mission.
Into right, into 3 right minus, tightens. Into 6 crest, 30, turn slow 3 right, opens.
To give you some idea of the change in those conditions,
70.
Gray was nearly 51 seconds quicker than yesterday's stage
6
winner,
left, 50.
Armin Schwarz dropped 5 minutes yesterday, stuck in the snow on stage 4. Co-driver Manfred Niemer would repeat that feat on stage 6, although they didn't lose as much time. Euro Vampera was 3rd fastest, losing time to both McRae and Marcus Gronholm.
Jatkaa oikein vasen eri soppu, 3 pitkä vasenkoa yli. Roikun 4 pitkä vasen nopeampi.
Yesterday this was Peugeot Michelin territory, but today the stage belonged to Ford and Pirelli.
Vain nykyinen vasen K lopussa. 5. Nykyinen vasen eri miinus jarrutuksen oikein nopea Hahdasveli.
Starting the stage with a lead of just 9/10 of a second, Marcus Gronholm, the second fastest agent McRae, would end it having stretched his advantage to nearly 6 seconds.
Ja vasen eri miinus yli nypyn. Ja oikein eri tiukka suppuu. Oikealle vasen hidas yli nypyn. 4.
The 206 Throwbacks arrived at the stage finish with damage to the front bodywork, while one eager fan had collected a souvenir which he wanted signing, Grunholm's rear bumper. The Finn, however, sounded as though he wasn't quite finished with it.
We need this back. We don't have
No.
You have to pay for it.
For me. Thank you.
But as predicted, it was tyres which occupied most people's thoughts. McRae, the stage winner, had taken a snow pattern, and even though his teammates opted for the same, Sainz obviously thought he could have chosen better.
Carlos, can you tell us how the stage was?
Completely wrong tires. Completely.
Despite his disgust, Sainz was now 5th, less than 5 seconds behind Freddie Leutz, while it was still Grönholm who led Rovanperä, but McRae was starting to close the gap. Behind the point-scoring positions, Alistair McRae, Kenneth Eriksson, Juha Kankkunen and Richard Burns were now all covered by a little over 5 seconds.
Marcus, second on stage 6. Were those conditions more difficult or easier than you thought they would be?
For me, maybe it was easier now. They had plowed the stage. Okay, now it's coming gravel up, but the grip was quite good, so it was not so bad.
Stage win to McRae C. Do you think you're attacking where others feared to attack?
No, not really. We're taking it more or less as yesterday. There's not a lot of room for error with the snowbanks being so small and soft now, so you've got to really try and keep it in the middle of the road.
Yanni, the back of the car's looking a bit beaten up and you lost some time. What happened?
One sentence, I used a handbrake and engine stop, and I spinning and I used rear gear and starting engine, and after stage I pushing a little hard and bumpers but nothing.
Petter, you're in the points here in Sweden last year, sadly not to be this year. What happened out there on the stage?
Well, actually we were in 200 kilometers on a long straight, and the engine just stopped. We went to 2 cylinders first, and we found out there was no oil in the car, and what really happened we don't know, because the oil pressure went away, and but the engineers is looking into it now and try to find the failure.
And so to stage 7. Once again, the forest was packed with spectators. Richard Burns and his co-driver Robert Reid must have been kicking themselves. For the second year in a row, it seemed time spent in a snowbank would have cost them a good result. The warmer weather meant there were less of those snowbanks around on day 2, but that didn't stop them from getting right 50 again.
Medium right, long. To flat left
Time
and
was
flat
lost
left.
on this occasion, however.
60, easy left and easy left over crest.
At the end of the stage, Robert Reid is dispatched to clear snow from the radiator. Watching the spin again, it's clear how lucky they've been. No snowbanks means the trees are now much easier to hit. For the Scottish fans who'd made the trip to Sweden, there was only one surname which mattered. The younger McRae, partnered by David Seaman, was again ranked fastest.
50. Easy left, trying to slide over crest, into flat jump, into flat right and flat jump.
It's worth listening to the one word in Senior's pace notes at the end of this straight, which seemed to be the last thing on any driver's mind.
Left tires to medium plus. 100. Care. Medium right on crest, opens long to bridge and...
Rasante fondo, 1 corto, izquierda rápido hacia tierra. Out of the ruts, and Sainz was able to take 7 seconds off the Belgian. But 8 kilometres from the end of the stage, the Lancer hit a rock which broke a wheel. Parsonen and his co-driver Arto Kapanen then limped out of the stage on 3 wheels, 61st fastest, and dropped from 7th to 18th. A bitter blow.
6 right. Into long 5 right, plus and tightens to 4 rock outside. 30, slow 4 left over crest, line. 30 left over crest, tightens and narrows to 3 line, don't touch gravel.
Clearly be seen. The pair must have been
And long
relieved to be
4
at the
right
end of the stage,
minus.
but what they didn't know was that Parson and Brock was lying in
Crest
wait
and
for
4
them.
right, plus crest opens. 8 Ks to go.
I don't know what's happened here.
And 6 crest, straight 70. Jump.
Stop and look, just against the wheel.
Okay, 6 right minus and 6 left over crest.
They were forced to stop and change the broken wheel, losing over 3 minutes and dropping to 14th place as a result. The two crews ahead of McRae and Grist saw the stricken Focus as they sped past, but were unaware of what had happened until their team relayed them the news. Robert Pera and Grist O'Keefe had the most to gain from McRae's problem. They were still second, but the gap in third place was now over 35 seconds.
Oikein täys 5. Nyppy ja vasen eri sumpu. 6. Varoon nypyyn ja oikein tuo sumpu sisältä. Vasen täys. Roikkuu. Mikkä vasen eri plus yli. Pidä maali.
But it was Marcus Gronholm and Timo Rautiainen who set the fastest time. Their second stage win from 7 to extend their lead over their colleagues exactly 15 seconds.
5. Vasen eri pidä sisällä. Ja oikein eri miinus sumppuun. 8 ja vasen nopea. Ja nyppy oikein eri helppo. 7 ja nyppy vasen eri miinus sumppuun.
The leaderboard after stage 7 looked very different, even if the two Finns at the head of it seemed permanent fixtures. Stage 8 was a rerun of yesterday's final test. First into it was Francois Duval, 15th fastest and still 15th overall. His first event in the Ford Focus World Rally Car.
Easy left plus gravel,
7th
baby.
fastest was Richard Burns. This time there were no mistakes.
Soft, tightens baby in. 100. Slight crest 20, flat left 50. Flat
Monte Carlo
left
had seen the world champion come away with
crest
no
60.
points, but Sweden was
Gravel
going
from
much
here,
better.
easy
It
left
was
long
sixth,
and
so
fast
occupied the
left.
first of the point-scoring
100.
positions.
And it's okay.
The narrow Swedish stages are hard work if you're in a big car like the Skoda Octavia. Even though Kenneth Eriksson and Tina Turner were on home soil, they were still using every inch of the road. The second fastest on the stage proves that their hard work was paying off. The pair were now up to 5th place, nearly 11 seconds ahead of Burns and Reed.
Opens 2, easy plus on crest 100.
Like Eriksson, Alistair McRae was also
left,
using the full
times
width
the
of the road.
minus.
12th
Into,
fastest,
slow
the
easy
Mitsubishi
right,
had dropped 2
times
places.
slide,
Such was the
and
closeness of the battle between 5
Slow easy
drivers.
right, times slide and opens 50. Flat crest 250. Straight crest 70. Left tightens to easy minus. And opens 120.
Another of those 5 was Freddie Moitz, still battling bravely on. The Hyundai was still 4th, one eye on his rearview mirror. The other 4 were all within just 23 seconds.
Aivan lopussa vasen täys sisältä 8. Oikein K+. Aukeaa 105.
Rovampero was well clear of that 5-way scrap, so could afford to relax a little.
Vasen helppo jatkaa vähän oikein täys. 7. Lopussa vasen helppo miinus sumppu. Nypyli oikein täys 5. Oikein K+. 8.
Fifth fastest on stage 8 and was still well clear of the chasing pack, but he lost more ground to the only man ahead of him.
8.
Once again, it was that man, Marcus Gronholm, who set the fastest stage time. His lead now having grown to nearly 30 seconds.
Siinä on matkaa vielä ja sitten tulee oikein nopea. 8 ja nyppy täys. 100. Nyppy täys. 8. Nyppy 2 ja vasen nopea yli nypyn.
But behind Grönholm and Eriksson, Sebastian Loeb was third fastest, as if to remind everyone that the Citroens were still able to set some quick times, even if they had no chance of victory. After Stage 8, Grönholm and Rovanperä were split by 29.4 seconds. Sainz was a long way down, but just look at the battle going on behind the Spaniard. It wasn't just Loitz, Ericsson and Burns, however. Even 10th placed Sebastian Lindholm was within 50 seconds or so of Sainz's third place. The rally might be halfway over, but there was still a long way to go.
We don't know what we hit, and Colin said he was on the right line, didn't feel it was wide at all. Obviously hit something, broke a wheel. The rim part of the wheel came off. We had to drive on the disc a little way and damaged the disc brake. Lost the rear brakes, but managed to get through the next stage with a reasonable time, I have to say. I think we were third quickest or something. But 3 minutes lost because we had to stop and change, put a new wheel on.
You've got Colin off your back now. He's dropped 10 places down, so there's no pressure from Ford there.
No pressure, but still I want to keep my lead and to be concentrated.
At the moment it looks like conditions are a little bit tricky and a lot of ruts in the stages we did yesterday. A lot of big deep ruts, not very enjoyable.
Best local driver was now 5th placed Kenneth Ericsson, who's won the rally 3 times in the past and so knows only too well that anything could still happen.
Still a long way to go, but enjoying myself, and the score was very nice as well, so I'm very happy with my position at the moment.
At just 11.25 kilometres, stage 9, Malta, was the shortest of the entire rally. Sainz was well aware that he had a fight on his hands and flew through the stage.
Rasante 2 veces frenando, acaba izquierda con el tercera, poco tarde se tira mucho. Para derecha, buena más corta, 3. Derecha, izquierda, rápida menos. Para derecha, rápida se cierra, a fondo, acaba Rasante fondo, 2.
Rovanperä lost nearly 4 seconds to Sainz, but the gap between them was still a yawning minute and a half.
Vasen K plus hämää sisällä. 5 oli matka. 5. Nypyn yli lyhyt oikein täys 7.
No surprise at the stage winner, Marcus Grönholm, for the 3rd time in a row. His victory here 2 years ago put him on track to win the 2000 World title, and he's determined to do the same again this year.
Takeri jouhee, 5 ja vaseri tiukka.
This time Thomas Rodstrom took his turn to set a second fastest stage time, while Sebastian Loeb's rally took a turn for the worse. Loeb's antics had cost him around a minute and a half, but Rovanperä was more than satisfied with his time. He wasn't the only one either, it seemed. The day's final pair of stages saw the big thaw continue and would also witness day become night. The nighttime though brought bad news for Skoda, who lost one of their 3 Octavias when Tony Gardemeister rolled out of the rally on stage 11. As far as 2 other Finns were concerned, it was business as usual. 3rd fastest on stage 10, and then 4th quickest on 11, Harry Rovanperä reached out in an extremely comfortable 2nd place.
Nyppy yli pitkällä, se ei roikku. Sen eri miinus sumtu sisällä.
But there was no denying the drive of the day. Marcus Grönholm was fastest on both the last 2 stages, so winning all but the first of today's 6, and so lead the Swedish rally into its 3rd and final day.
Vasen nopee. Jatkuu vasen pitkä eri kirraan. Maali. 10-15. Stage is clear for Marcus.
Grönholm takes a lead of a little over 50 seconds into day 3, with Rovanperä it seems content to settle 2nd. Sainz has opened up something of a cushion, but Loix, Burns and Ericsson are covered by less than 6 seconds. Colin McRae, meanwhile, has recovered to 11th, but knows any chance of a good result and some useful points ended when he hit that rock on stage 7.
As the snow has melted today, you just seem to have got quicker. You just got 3 stage wins in a row.
Yeah, but the road condition was not too bad. It was quite okay, and so I was quite happy with my driving.
Did I tell you something?
No, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
And I will,
Yeah.
Nobody will tell anything to none of you.
Yeah.
You think you're going to have a Peugeot 1 and 2 tomorrow?
Maybe 3, 1, 2 and 3.
So, Marcus Grönholm is tonight on the verge of taking his first win of the season. This sport, however, has a habit of swinging the most cruel of surprises. Join us tomorrow for highlights of the final 5 stages. Over 3 days, just like each one of the 14 events which make up the World Championship, the Swedish Rally takes place in the heart of the country. Rally headquarters is in the city of Karlstad, but the 16 time stages are all well to the north, with the hope of finding deeper snow and better conditions. The downside of the deeper snow are the high banks of the stuff which line the stages, as many crews discovered during the first 2 days. Right, so right back. World champion Richard Burns lost over a minute and a half on the first day and was lucky to escape a similar fate on the second. Not so lucky with the winner of the Monte Carlo rally, Mackinnon. His Subaru gulped a radiator full of snow on day 1 with the engine over.
The engine temperature is up this junction. We stop at the junction 13 on the stage number 4. We must stop here.
Sacrificing the contents of his drinks bottle could help Mackinnon, but there was worse to come for the team.
Opens 130. Keep middle of a jump. 100.
Peter Solberg also went out with engine failure early on day 2.
The engine just stopped. Went to 2 cylinders first, and we found out there was no oil in the car, and what really happened we don't know.
Other casualties on the second day included Jani Parsonen making his debut for Mitsubishi. He broke a rear wheel on a rock and dropped from 6th to 18th.
And long 4-8 minus.
The same rock claimed another victim shortly afterwards.
Preston 4-8. Jump. Okay, 6 or 8 minus and 6 left over crest.
Colin McRae was forced to stop in the stage to change the broken wheel, losing over 3 minutes and plummeting down the order. Till 11th the last of the day, then it handed to Tony Gardner's Skoda. Leading Skoda's assault at the end of the day was the best of the local drivers, Kenneth Ericsson, 6th overall. Richard Burns was 5th, regretting the time he had spent in the snowland on the first day. The man in 4th place was for many the hero of the rally. Freddie Loix had broken his foot in an accident in Monte Carlo, but was engaged in a thrilling 3-way fight with Burns and Ericsson. Those two, however, would start the final day a little over 30 seconds down on 3rd place from Sainz. But the rally's first 2 days had been dominated by 2 Finns driving Peugeots. Harry Rovanperä was 2nd as the crews returned to Karlstad, while his teammate Marcus Grönholm led by over 50 seconds, setting all but one faster stage time on the second day. So this was how things stood after 11 of the rally's 16 stages. Grönholm and Rovanperä had had things very much their own way so far, with Sainz a comfortable 3rd. There was then a terrific fight for 4th place, with 7th to 11th covered by a little over a minute, so Colin McRae still had a slim chance of a single point. The mild weather conditions would still make tyre choice difficult on the final day. As the crews lined up for the first stage of the morning, all seemed peaceful enough, but that three-way battle for fourth was hard on the minds of those crews involved. The injured Loix also had other things to worry about, like making sure his broken foot was comfortable.
The main thing is try to keep Richard and even Kenneth behind me, because these two boys seems to be they have no respect for handicapped people. So yes, I'm gonna try, but it will be not easy.
So 5 final stages would decide the 2002 Swedish Rally. 2 to the east of Hagfors, then 2 more to the west, and then a long last stage to the east once again, a total of around 128 kilometres. Temperatures hovered around +4 degrees as the sun rose. Melting snow isn't something the Swedish Rally normally offers, nor do the stages usually look like this. Stage 12 was a repeat of the very first stage on day 1. The virtual spectator system means we can get an overview of the whole of the 14-kilometre Sagan stage, although the last kilometre or so gives a great idea of the kind of challenge facing the crews. A long straight, followed by a tightening right-hand bend, with a left-hand hairpin and a short sprint, taking the cars up to and over the finish line. Sebastian Loeb's Citroën was now running his first car on the road, but it was muddy and snow, which made the Frenchman 10th fastest was a respectable performance. Jani Parsonen was 9th quickest. He predicted that the conditions would improve for the later cars, but he was pleased with his time.
Into slow 4 left line. 30, 6 right, opens line.
All was by no means lost. Despite that broken wheel on day 2, a championship point was still possible. The third fastest time suggested he was still pushing hard.
And 6 right, 70. 5 right plus over crest line, 50. 5
7th on the stage and 7th overall was his younger brother Alistair. Let's follow the Mitsubishi through stage 12. Your commentator is co-driver David Senior.
Right on crest, tightens to easy, and open 70, left tightens to slow easy minus, 50, care, medium and left plus tightens, and K-right tightens gravel, medium and plus tightens, K-right gravel, tightens 30, crest, and medium left, tightens slight, 50, right tightens to medium, and opens 170, flat crest 150.
Kenneth Eriksson and Tina Twomley were by less than 20 seconds ahead of Alistair and David. The Skoda was equal 12th fastest on the stage, dropping over 3 seconds to the Lancer. At the end of the stage, it quickly becomes clear just how hard Eriksson is pushing and how much he wants to hang on to his 6th place. Sweden had seen the world champion continue to settle into his new car, but 3rd place was now a possibility. And so
Fast
he moved up
left
the gear.
and in, which is okay. 100. Flat right. Fast left minus tightens long gravel. 30 medium right plus gravel maybe to medium right plus tightens maybe long. Opens gravel maybe 70.
Robert Reed in his ears.
Flat right
Burns set
to
the
right
fastest
max.
time, his first stage win in at 2:06. That meant the Englishman had now caught up past Freddie Wilson. He's only
cierra rápido menos, se tira poco a fondo. Acaba rasante, abrirse, izquierda rápido con sexta, poco tarde se tira y se abre. Abrirse. Acaba rápido con sexta, poco tarde se tira, un grado más. 2. Rasante derecha, rápido con sexta, se tira poco por dentro, fin con C. Para 1. Izquierda, bueno.
But the Peugeot domination of the Swedish rally continued. Only Roman Pera had decided to settle for second place, it seemed. He was fourth quickest on stage 12.
Vasen täys. 200. Hae oikein, helppo miinus, pidä sisällä, pitkä vasen eri plus.
Marcus Gronholm was second fastest, beaten only by his new colleague Richard Burns. No matter, his lead was now up to over 55 seconds.
Ja vasen nopea sisältä oikein hidas.
Taking his first win of the season.
7, nyppy 4 ja vasen pitkä eri miinus. 8, oikein nopein.
Last season though saw a string of bad luck plague Gronholm, so he wasn't counting his winnings just yet. 55.5 seconds now, the exact gap between Gronholm and Rovanperä, with Sainz still a further minute and a half back. Burns now looked like posing a serious threat for third, while Ericsson was just 5.6 seconds off Leutze's fifth place. Further back, both the McRae brothers were among the chasing pack, with Alistair for once holding the upper hand. Stage 13, this time it was the weather conditions which were declared victorious. The bare road surface was clearly in no shape for the stage to run, and so the organisers had little choice but to cancel it and return the crews to service once they got their time card signed.
I think that basically the stages are in such a bad condition because there's been obviously it's been a plus degrees situation, and obviously all the ice has melted. There's stages that have been used before, so obviously there is deep ruts, and it obviously does a lot of the damage to these roads, which is obviously not normally the case.
Very tough to catch Richard now.
Yeah, I think it's very, very difficult to catch him. He's driving very well this morning, but still now it's 2 stages and we may expect a lot of gravel and it can be very difficult.
Carlos, you've got Richard Burns just breathing down your neck now after his stage win. Do you think you can hold him off?
We have to try. It's not going to be easy, but we have to try.
Richard, you're just 25 seconds now behind Carlos. Do you think you can catch him?
I hope so, yeah, I'm going to try.
Enough stage case to do it though?
If they keep everything in, then maybe just about, but it's a shame the last one was cancelled.
Marcus, you've now extended your lead by another 5 seconds. It looks like victory is yours.
It's close, but still it's 3 stages, so I try to not do any mistakes. So.
At Hyundai, however, all was going smoothly. Just as Armin Schwartz reverses out of service, he's been having a small problem with the Accent's front drive shaft. The car is then pushed back under the canopy, the front is jacked up again. All Schwartz can do is sit patiently, waiting for the word to go. He won't get far. The car ground to a halt just a few kilometres down the road with transmission failure. So Schwartz wouldn't reach stage 14, a 32-kilometre affair which at least had some ice and snow covering the gravel. Fans want to find one working around the would never have thought it, but Sweden was his first appearance in a Ford Focus World Rally car. His time. 2002 on the other hand was Colin McRae's 4th season in the Focus.
120. Left over big jump and 6 right.
And easy right,
meanwhile, was still
long over crest. 120. Care left tightens to easy plus over jump. And easy right plus opens into care, long medium right plus on crest.
For the second stage in a row, it was Richard Burns who set the fastest time. To give you some idea of the level of competition though, the top 4 cars were only 0.6 of a second apart after nearly 18 minutes of driving flat out, and so Burns didn't gain much benefit from winning stage 14.
Dan wordt hij bereikt op links 72, op rechts 73 plus. Op rechts 73 plus. 50. 50. Even rechts op links 70 min, rechts 70 min. Links 70 min, rechts 70 min. Platte band. Op 50, we gaan moeten wisselen.
Front suspension failure meant Loix joined Schwarz on the retirement list. Not surprisingly, the Belgian was bitterly upset.
I'm very disappointed, and especially it's a mechanical sport, but it's like we did not hit something, and then if you have to stop without making a mistake, it's always feeling sad. I feel bad for the team, but okay, what can we do?
The Hyundai going out didn't take any of the pressure off Sainz, however.
Sasar, para derecha rápida menos, abrirse. Rasante, derecha buena más, se cierra. Para uno corto. Izquierda buena más, se cierra.
Burns' Peugeot was now his greatest threat, and the Focus stormed through the stage just about a second slower than the 206. While one Peugeot driver was scrambling to get onto the podium, 2 others seemed to have already reserved their places. Harry Rovanperä and co-driver Risto Pietalainen were 5th quickest, but stage times were now almost irrelevant. They could afford to drop over a minute on the last pair of stages and still finish the race. Marcus Bruno was stopped back on exceptional Sainz. Again, it hardly seemed to matter. The performance of the 2000 world champion had been so complete, so crushing.
Oikein jouheyli, nypy ja vaseri helppo. Oikein miinus oli nypy ahdas.
Another French team big swing with its pen between its legs. After the odd flash of brilliance, Citroën had shown their own promise of Monte Carlo. Thomas Rodstrom and Denis Giraudet demonstrating once again that the team still has a lot to learn about snow and ice. The rally's penultimate stage, Tauntorp, was a little under 20 kilometres long. Fastest was Colin McRae, determined to do all he could to get into the points.
And Ray Tightens to 4, opens over crest to long 6. 100, 5 left Tightens.
For the second successive stage, it was a brutal time too. This time, Burns was runner-up, 2.6 seconds down on McRae, but more importantly, 12.2 faster than Sainz and co-driver Lewis Moyer.
Derecha rápido, por izquierda y no cortar. Sasar, para izquierda más corta en quinta, de la poco y se abre. 2. Derecha rápido, por izquierda y no cortar. Sasar, para izquierda más corta en quinta, de la poco y se abre. 2. He too was quicker than Sainz and so would head into the final stage with a massive cushion over the Ford. Even more so than Rovanperä, Grunberg has been a model of consistency. So could tackle the contest with the knowledge their boss, Corrado Provera, must have been delighted. His 2 Finnish stars had shown just how to win this rally, while his newest signing could still make it an all-Peugeot podium.
Maybe Carlos must have had a little problem on the last stage, because on the one before we only took half a second. So I imagine that he can also fight back quite hard.
Well, basically, one tire I lost nearly 80% of the stats. The other one quite a lot. It was a lot of gravel on the stage, nearly 100% gravel.
There's 12 seconds between you and Alistair. It'd be nice to pip your brother there for that last point.
Yeah, I mean, if it had been okay, we've got to get in front of him and try and get into 6th place as well, so there's a bit to do.
Does it make a difference that it's your brother coming fast behind you?
No, it doesn't matter. No, it's one guy you're trying to beat to get points, so it doesn't matter who he is.
Adding even more importance to the battle between the pair was the Summit Skoda. Fifth-place Kenneth Eriksson obviously was some kind of engine problem, so would be on the The final stage was run almost within sight of Hagfors. Colin McRae setting off into the 40 kilometres, determined to make up the 11.1 seconds he needed to snatch second place from his brother.
4 left plus over crest, opens long gravel and continues. 17.
That left-hand bend caught out the 1995 world champion, and precious seconds were lost restarting the stalled focus. Alistair was unaware of the problem until he reached the end of the stage. Colin had indeed been faster, and speed meant he hadn't quite quick enough. The Mitsubishi finished only just 3/10 of a second ahead. Whether Alistair was 7th or 6th now depended on Eriksson. Sure enough, there's no smoke without fire. Despite Tina Turner's message to our helicopter, the Swedish pair were anything but okay, retiring almost within sight of the finish. With the final stage looking more like Great Britain than Sweden, Carlos Sainz must have been hugely relieved to reach the end. Burns was again fastest, but it wasn't enough to close the gap, so Sainz could finally claim that hotly contested third place. It might not have been the all-Peugeot top 3 the team had wanted, but the 1-2 still tasted sweet enough. Relatively speaking, through stage 16, 9th fastest, more than enough to guarantee second place and a great weekend's work. But the rally belonged to Marcus Grönholm. Of the 15 stages, he'd won 6, come second on another 6, been third twice, and then fifth on the very last. Victories are rarely so commanding, yet the Finn hardly registers any emotion as he crosses the finish line.
100. Vasen pitkä eri miinus, kirraa. Pitkä eri miinus, kirraa. 150.
His boss, however, allows himself the luxury of the faintest of smiles at his team's third Swedish rally win in as many years. But there was one last drama to be played out. Finnish privateer Jan Turner had also driven superbly all weekend and thought he'd finished in 5th place. But even as Corrado Provera acknowledged the applause at one end of the service park, at the other end, Ford team manager John Millington was asking Tuino to deliberately incur a time penalty to allow Colin McRae to finish 6th and score a point. He duly did so, which also elevated Alistair McRae to 5th. The Finn didn't look too happy at the move, but at least he'll be getting 2 Christmas cards from Scotland in December. Confirmation then of Grönholm's massive winning margin over Rovanperä. With Sainz 3rd and Colin McRae getting that assisted 6th place, Ford were also fairly pleased at the result. Tuino learnt about World Rally politics the hard way, while Juha Kankkunen's first event of the season ended with a single point for his team.
Marcus, winner in 2000, winner in 2002, a terrific result for you.
Yeah, I like this rally, and it seems to be good for us and our team and our tyres, so it was quite easy.
Okay. In many ways, it's been quite an easy rally for you. You staked out your claim at the first day, but it's been quite plain sailing.
Yes, it's, after yesterday morning, everything is going quite safety and no any big risk.
What was it like in that last stage? Were you taking many risks to keep Richard behind you?
Yeah, we started very, very fast and Maximum really, and in the end he was 4 seconds quicker than me, but at least we managed.
Really, we started too far behind this morning. It was always going to be quite difficult to get him, and he did a really good time on that last stage also. We beat him by a few seconds, but not enough.
Corrado, 1-2-3 would have been very nice, but 1-2-4 is not bad at all.
Not bad at all, mainly because there is in 1-2-4 there is 1-2, which is the maximum amount of points we could have scored here, and we are scoring them. On top of this, we are at the end of the Swedish rally leading the Manufacturer Championship, and Marcus is leading his own championship.
He was Grönholm taking over from Tommy Mäkinen at the head of the drivers' table, while the reigning champion Richard Burns has now opened his account. The maximum 16 points means Peugeot also lead the Manufacturers Series from Ford, with Subaru still third, despite failing to score in Sweden. 2 years ago, the Swedish rally gave Marcus Grönholm and Timo Rautiainen their first World Rally victory. travel as well. The 2002 Swedish Rally was run in very different conditions, but Ronho hardly seemed to notice. 2 winners from 2 events, and the World Rally Championship is off to a flying start. Join us again in early March on the French island of Corsica, but from Sweden. Goodbye.